Baby, you don't know what you do to me, between me and you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed and joined the Black Envy movement, what are you doing? Click the subscribe button and click the notification bell to make sure you get notified every time I post a new video. Okay, so today I'm having another chit chat get ready with me video. It's a special edition. Today's my anniversary and today I'm going to be talking about marriage, my point of view, some advice, some things you guys can take into life and other types of relationships other than, you know, the common relationship and all that good stuff. So make sure you keep on watching. Make sure you get your wine, get comfortable because this is going to be a long one. And get cute with me. I hope you guys are feeling this look. I haven't done a smoky eye in God knows how long. The original smoky eye, the black smoky eye, and I'm really feeling it, okay? Leave your comment down below if you're feeling this look or whatever. So let's get into the video. I already ran it too much. Check the description box below for all the products I use. If you want to purchase this wig, all that good stuff. Follow me on all my social media content and all of that. Links will be down below. So let's get into the video. Today I just hit 4 years of marriage. Okay. I'm pretty happy. It was a very long journey. And not necessarily with me and my husband or my problems or anything like that. Just life tribulations. Literally. But me and my husband have loved each other. Been together for like almost 6 years in October. So okay, so let me give y'all a clear visual. I've known my husband since I was 18. I get married at 20. I'm about to be 25. Just to give a clear indication on how young I got married. Now, I'm not encouraging people to go out here and get married young. It is a personal choice. I just feel like that's actually one of the things I want to talk about. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about marriage, about, oh, okay, I think I put too much. It's okay. Have a lot of misconceptions about marriage and being married young. Some people hate the idea of marriage depending on what they've seen, their parents go through, or people around them, or like commitment issues and all of that. But for me, I always knew I wanted to get married, so it wasn't something I was scared of. I always wanted to just spend my life with just one person and just grow with that person per se. I'm not a loner. I knew that at a very young age. I am not a loner. Okay. I like having somebody in my corner. I like coming home to someone, and you know, I'm just glad I found somebody who feels the same way. I just can't. I cannot. So me hitting 4 years of marriage is a very happy journey for me, because to be honest, I feel like through marriage I grew into the woman I wanted to become, and I really truly believe it shaped me up to really be the woman I am today. Me running a business, me being more nurturing, more caring, more considerate, selfless, certain qualities I feel like if I was on my own, especially with my upbringing, I wouldn't have been able to cultivate or see certain things I didn't know about myself if it wasn't for me being in a position where I had to put this person before myself. So it was really tough. There was many reasons why I got married, but it was tough at the beginning because, as I said, when you're young and, you know, naturally we will always put ourselves first, our feelings first. We become inconsiderate without even realizing that we're inconsiderate. So we just feel entitled to men as women, and I'm speaking as a woman. You feel entitled to this man to care for you and has to love you any type of way, and like you ain't gotta put no work because I'm a woman. Okay? And it's not true. It is not true. You gotta put in just as much work. You want to keep your man? You gotta show appreciation. Men want to be feel needed and loved too. Men like respect too. They love to feel appreciated as well. And so what I've learned is it's not all about me. It's not. It's not all about me. The world does not revolve around me. And there's more to being a woman and taking my role in my marriage than just looking cute and being a woman. Okay? It's so much more than that. But one thing I can say, and I did do this video long time ago. This bra is kind of crooked. Okay. That with my femininity journey, when you really love someone, like the submissiveness and the things that come in marriage, it will come naturally, because you're gonna feel like your partner has proven himself to receive that submission from you, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times when people fight back, it's either they are scared, or they don't want to feel belittled. And the craziest thing when it comes to submission is the idea that you're that person's slave, like you have no worth, no value. That's a horrible misconception, because you submit at work, you submit to the law, you submit to a lot of things that you don't think that you're submitting to, but you are. If YouTube is your job, you're submitting to the laws or rules that YouTube put aside. You know, you're making sure you're not getting copyrighted. You're submitting. It's the same thing. Because you both can't just be top dog. Like, that's not how it works. Somebody has to submit. But me being a wife and things like that, I'm not unheard. You know, I'm not dismissed. I'm pretty much cared for, okay? I can't sit here and say like, yo, I'm ignored now. There's certain cases, you know, you get into certain marriages, things like that. It's not ideal. But that's where I have to be open about what you should look for. Because I genuinely don't believe that there's a thing called marriage. Like, in a sense, if you're an adult, you're legally an adult, you're of age, and you want to get married, that's on you. I don't think that if you get married young, it's going to automatically fail. I believe that it's all about who these two people are, what their intent, and do they understand the type of commitment they're making. That's really what determines, like, is this going to work? Because you could be 35 and get married and get divorced in 6 months. You're not super young. you been in an adult game for a while, but yet it didn't work out. We can't really look at time per se. We can't really necessarily look at time per se. I feel like it's more so it's both parties willing to put in the work, because it's 100% on both sides. It's not 50-50. Okay? It's 100% on both sides. And if 100% is not being given on both sides, and someone's lacking, and the other is dismissing it, or the other person is not communicative, it's just not gonna work. The one thing I always tell people, especially when they're interested in like getting married and stuff, you have to be able to communicate even when you don't want to, and you can't have pride. Everything is a compromise. You don't realize how much you shift your life when you merge your life with somebody else. You're not the only one compromising in the situation. And that's where the selfishness and pride come in, where you have to train yourself to not put yourself first all the time. Now, me saying that is not saying like, oh, ignore your needs, this person's need is more important. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to be fair. Do the same as you would want to be treated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because before y'all merged, that person or your partner had a routine before you came in, and you had a routine before he came in, and now you gotta merge. Maybe, you know, he's somewhat sloppy, you know, and you're a really clean person, and you're like, yo, this not gonna work. But guess what? Those things can be fixed. Those things can be corrected. Okay? And when I say corrected, I mean like if he really loves you, he's gonna, over time, don't try to rush things, but over time, he's gonna understand the importance of why he has to be clean. Like, who, you know, set tone for rules, set tone for things, just to really start creating the home that you want, you know? So yeah, you have to come into an agreement and understanding. So a lot of times what I've learned is discuss the things you're uncomfortable about discussing, because that's where you're gonna be in, you know, that's the person you're gonna spend a lot of time with. Okay, discuss the uncomfortability. If something is bothering you, say it. Just say it, and say it in a respectful tone. Don't wait till, you know, you blow the top off and now you're just like ranting and being disrespectful. Because if roles are in reverse, if the roles were in reverse, you gonna be tight. Let's be honest, you're gonna be tight. You know, a lot of people look at the weddings and the marriages and the cute couple pics on Instagram and still hasn't learned their lesson that there's so much more beyond the wedding, the proposal, the cute pictures, the house, the new car. There's so much more than that, okay? Because you realize that there's a lot of things you can change, as well as there's a lot of things you cannot change of that person and their habits and the things that makes them them. And you have to come to a point where you have to work around that. As much as you don't want to, you're gonna have to work around that. There's just certain things that just cannot be fixed. But there can be adjustments, you know? So keep a clear mind if that's what you want. I feel like we don't have genuine conversations about marriage. Everything just looks so tainted, like, oh, this, that, and the third. I'm just like, it's not. Trust me, I've been married for 4 years. It's not that long, but for me, I feel like I've been married to this man as long as I've been with him. But, it can be an amazing experience, but you have to understand the work that is put in to make it an amazing experience. Like, this person has to be your first best friend, your first self, your first defender, like the first person in life for anything. You have to understand there's boundaries. You can't allow other people to be involved in this house or home you're building. You have to understand there's boundaries. Not everything can be shared to the other party. Don't talk mess about your partner. Don't be talking about your partner negatively, bro. That is your partner. You got some issues, don't go ahead and tell somebody else before you tell them. You got some issues, work it out. If you know you don't want to work it out, be honest. Say, yo, I gotta go. I don't want to do this no more. Then to have this person thinking everything is alright, but it's not. And now they're sitting there confused. And you talking about, oh, you should have known. How he was going to know? How she was going to know? If you never said anything. And then you want to be a victim. No. I feel like with this world, people are just so selfish that they don't realize that it's two parties. That's why, like, with certain decisions, when people be like when I first got married, I had like my single people I used to be friends with that were single, well, still are single, but was single at the time, and they'd be like, is it okay with your man to go out? Is your man okay with it? And to me, I feel like with that connotation, it's kind of like I'm not my own person because I'm married now. Like, I have to be everywhere my husband is, or wherever my husband is, I have to be there. Like, I can't be on my own. Like, I can't go out on my own. And it was kind of weird when people said it, and I'm like, you know, I'm still me, right? Like, you know, I do things outside of my husband, outside of my marriage. Like, I hang out with friends. I go places. I was still traveling on my own. Like, me being married to my husband does not stop me from being my own person and doing my things and doing stuff that I love that, you know, maybe we can't share. It's okay. Do you go everywhere your parents go? No. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And marriage is a partnership. Like, if you don't want to stay out late, it's because you have respect for that person. It's not that you're obligated. You can stay out however long, but just understand there's consequences to your decision, okay? It's the principle. It's the respect. Because if the roles are reversed, and I'm gonna keep saying this because people like to look at it one-sided just to validate what they're doing, knowing it's wrong. If the roles were in reversed, you're not okay with it. You would not be okay with it. So therefore, why would you do that? Why would you do something you know that you wouldn't be okay if you was the one sitting and waiting for him? Don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure it's understood. It's clear. Like, yo, I'm going out with my friends. When you're letting your partner know where you're going, it's respect. Because they're worried. They're scared that something might happen. They don't know if this is the last time they're going to see you. Don't be like, oh, you're always in my business. I can't go out. Homie, when you took that vow, you know, now I care for you. Our life is merged. I depend on you for a lot. And that means not just financially. It don't have to be financially. But I just depend on you as a person. Because you promised me you going to be here for me. Yes, I'm a worry. I don't want to lose you. I don't want one day you get hit by a car and you don't come home. Like, what else? Or something goes wrong. You don't, it's so much more to that. So when people make little snickering comments and stuff like that, it's like, bro, come on now. Come on now. When your parents worry about you, is because they're scared of you. They're scared for what could happen because they're not present. So when they want to know where you are or things like that, it's not because they want to be all up in your business, but it's more so that to know you're safe. That if something were to happen, they know where to find you. Like, it's the same thing. We have to stop looking at it as in, you know, you're in a jail. You know, you're tied down. If we be honest, you was tied down the moment you committed to the relationship. Okay, the moment you asked me to be your girlfriend, you was tied down. Okay, you was never single if we was together. Okay, and it's not an excuse to do the things you want to do. You should have done them before, or just in the relationship and go do them. It's that simple. Because it's unfair to the other person who's giving their all, wanting to make sure that they're giving you their best, and you're dismissing it like it's nothing. But just, if they forget one thing, they forget a sock, you're flipping out. That's not fair. Like, come on now. So be honest and be calm and understand that y'all not gonna do everything together. Y'all not gonna like the same things. Me and my husband, we're hot and cold. I always refer us like that because it's legit true. We don't really have anything in common. And to be honest, I love it like that because I always learn something new. He always learns something new. We don't have to be watching the same show. We don't have to be doing this, that, and the third. It's cool if he's playing his game and I'm just chilling and I'm doing my own thing. Okay? But we in the same space. Or we could just find something to share with each other. It doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, because he come home and he want to play the game, all of a sudden you tight. but you on your phone and you scrolling at dinner. Come on now, there has to be a compromise. There has to be a compromise. So with that being said, understand that if you're desiring marriage and you want to get into that, it is a beautiful thing. But it becomes a beautiful thing when two people who is coming together and this matrimony is agreeing to continuously give their all because of how they feel and understand your worth and each other's lives. You see what I'm saying? This is the real tea. And when that is understood, no matter what kind of argument you have, don't have pride. Say sorry. Don't be like, he gotta say sorry to me first. We ain't in this. This is not high school. This is not a kid relationship. We don't got time for that, okay? We're an adult. We have other responsibilities, and you might have other problems that you both are facing that you have to deal with on the outside world. Don't be that person. If you know you snapped at him for no reason and you took your emotions out on him, say sorry. Because I know if he snapped on you, you don't want him to say sorry. And don't hold a grudge. Keep it pushing. There's so much other things we can be mad about. Don't be mad about that sock. Don't be tight about it the whole day. It ain't that serious. It's a sock. You know what? It's going to take him time. Sometimes, even for you as a woman, there's things they don't like that you're doing, that he has to, work himself around into like doing because you don't do them. And that's fine. For example, I hate washing the dishes. I hate watching, I just hate it. Okay? But I do wash the dishes here and there. But because I hate washing the dishes, my husband washed the dishes. Nothing wrong with that. Why? It's a team. Somebody gotta wash these dishes. And not saying that I'm gonna leave the low all to him, but I like the fact that, you know what, he knows I don't like washing dishes. He took the initiative to wash the dishes, and I take care of the rest. Wherever your partner is weak at, be the strength for that, because at the end of the day, it's beneficial for the both. It's not beneficial to just one, but for the both parties. Y'all, I haven't done a smoky eye in God knows how long. It's some crazy mess. I want to do a traditional smoky eye, the black smoky eye with the bow lid, But yes, all these things I'm mentioning, I need y'all to really take that in consideration. Even if you're not in a relationship, even if you're not looking for marriage, all these attributes do apply to other types of relationships you have in life, like friendships, family relationships. Like, you have other relationships that don't have to be specifically towards a partner that this can be applied to, And to be honest, through my marriage, it shaped me to understand myself as a woman. It shaped me to understand my vulnerability as a woman, who I wanted to become. And I feel like I've grown even faster for the fact that, you know what, my husband was able to point out things I would have never seen in my own eyes. It's kind of like, if you're, how can I put this example? Let's say you move into an apartment and it has a scent, right? The first 3 days, you'll notice that scent. But over time, your nose becomes blind to that scent. So, because your nose become blind to the scent, you feel like there's no problem. There's no point of lighting candles or whatever the case may be. Get that sewage fixed. Whatever is causing that smell, you don't feel like there's a need because it's no longer there. So when somebody comes and says, hey, I think there's something wrong because there's a smell in here, are you going to be tight and be like, what are you talking about? Ain't no scent. But you know there was a scent. You knew it was a scent. And you out here acting like there wasn't no scent. It's okay. It is okay. Because at some point, don't shut that door. And sometimes there's a lot of things you yourself, even looking in the mirror, you're not going to notice. That's why when I had a client the other day, and I hear that, oh yeah, I need time to myself so I can learn myself, you know. I'm like, I get that, but a lot of times you learn more about the things you need to fix of yourself when you have somebody else looking on another on another spectrum, on another perspective. Now, you're not just looking at yourself like, oh, okay, I'm fine. Well, I'm doing this. But now you're closing yourself. You're becoming less communicative. You don't know how to properly express yourself. Are you really working on yourself? There's so much you can do by yourself for why we go to therapy. Like, we go to therapy and we do these things. Because at the end of the day, for us as humans, we need interaction with other people, and the only way for us to correct certain things is to have somebody say, hey, look, I think this is something you need to work on. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's better that it's acknowledged earlier and you work on it and become a better person than to just burden that and carry that with yourself and just dismiss it and be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And I feel like for me, that's one of the things I feel like that helped me grow as a woman, as a business person, as a wife, as a daughter, as a friend, because I had my husband was like, yeah, you know, I feel like you need to work on that, or made me understand why I did certain things without me even knowing that this is what's triggering it for why I do these things. You see what I'm saying? I would have never noticed that on my own if he wasn't the one pointing that out to me. Oh, child, I'm trying to get all under the eye. I'm trying to get some hair, okay? So, with that, as much as it has its challenges, it's so rewarding. It is so rewarding. Like, I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's each to its own, or own to it, each to its own, or own to each. I don't know, y'all know what I'm saying, but you know, this is for me, because I knew myself. I knew that, you know, this is something I wanted in life. Now, the things I always tell women, because I am a woman, I can't speak for men, is that if you're looking for marriage and you're looking for that long-term partner, when you go on that date, baby, be honest. Don't think he just should know. Men are not necessarily going to do the extra work to figure out what you're thinking. To be honest, they're not really thinking about it unless you make it a concern. Be honest with that man. Let him know your intent, what you're looking for, that this is not no casual dating if that is your goal, okay? Don't be mad if you knew how long you wanted to date and get married and he ain't never popped the question and he telling you, well, I didn't know you wanted to get married, I just really wanted to chill. That could have been avoided if you let him know from the get-go, before investing feelings, before getting hurt, that, hey, look, this is what I'm looking for. I'm really vibing with you, but is this the direction you're going in life? Because I want to build with someone. If he tell you not right now, it's okay to be like, well, you know what? I appreciate this time we spent together, but I don't think this is going to work out because this is not what I want. That's okay. Save yourself the heartache. Okay, save yourself the time, the confusion, the guessing games. I feel like when you get older, we have less time for that. There's so much going on in the world, so much things that we're facing to a day-to-day that we cannot just be sitting here playing games. I know I can't. Because when I first met my husband, I thought I ran him off. As young as I was, I knew what I wanted very young. As I said, I know I wasn't a loner and I wanted to build. I like this man and I was like, I'm going to get married in 3 years. The third year I better be engaged. I want to have kids. Are you looking for kids? Are you looking for a wife in the future? Are you looking for this and that? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to date just to date. Now, if that's your thing, go ahead, boo, do your thing. But I'm speaking to the women who's looking for marriage, okay? Speaking as a married woman. Another thing I do want to bring up as well, understand that when men are looking, or women, like just like women, Men are not too focused on your physical attributes. The ones who's really looking for love, the ones who's really looking for wives, don't cut yourself short or settle because you don't look like the typical social media girl. Men, when they're looking for partners, they think way more logical. They think way more like, okay, how is she when she's mad? If we're in this space, how will she react? Can she be a good mother to my kids? Do you think she'll have my back for that? That's what they're thinking of when looking for a mate, okay? Don't beat yourself up and be like, well, I don't have a big booty, I ain't gonna find a man. Baby, those are toys. There's more to life than your physical attribute. Is your physical attribute important? Yes, because it's the first thing people see. But understand that there has to be way more than the outer appearance. Because this is a lifetime commitment. And if it's not a lifetime commitment, it sure is a long commitment. So at the end of the day, have a realistic understanding of what marriage is. And make it known. The sooner you make it known, the sooner you know where you stand, the sooner you can make a decision for yourself. The safer you are, the more you're safeguarding your heart. That's what I can say. Because people ask me all the time, and even when I tell them I'm married and stuff, they're just like for some reason they feel bad for me. I'm like, why do you feel bad for me? I'm good. I'm good. To be honest, I wouldn't have it any other way. I personally enjoy being married. I don't see myself being single. I don't want to be single. I'm not trying to be single. I love being married. So, therefore, I don't feel bad for me. Don't feel bad for me, okay? And to each its own. That's the saying. You know, I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, don't feel bad for me. I'm good. But just understand that it's just all about who you end up with and making sure your intent is clear. Don't rush into it either. Take your time. Don't have other people put in opinions. If other people feel like your partner ain't cute, that shouldn't stop you from dating him. If you think he cute, that's all that matters. Does it really matter if they think it's cute? It's better for you. It's better for you, baby. It's okay. You don't need to prove nothing to anybody because at the end of the day, they not paying your bills. If you have a financial problem, they're not the ones who's going to come and help you out of it. If something is going on, they're not going to be necessarily there. They will not be in your household. They will not be feeding you. They will not be providing for you. So therefore, what they feel and how they think is not, it's not important. It's not important. It's not important. It's just literally where you and that person is, and that's all that matters. Okay? That's all I can really say about everything, you know? Get this covered. Understand where you at in life. No, don't focus on having a 6-figure man. Not everybody out here making 6 figures. What should be important as well is that he can provide. That's all that should be important. If he's a hardworking man, he is a rich man. Okay, have realistic views and expectations. Don't focus on his height, y'all. Okay, most men are under 5'9", and it's okay, because you're probably 5'1", 5'3". You're not that tall. It's okay. It is okay. Because let me tell you, the difference between love and infatuation is that love, you're conscious. You understand the person's faults and the person's strength. And you accept those faults, knowing that that's what you can handle. Love is how you feel about your parents if you have loving parents. But the way you love your parents, you know they have their flaws and they have their faults. But overall, you love them. You're conscious of that. It's a choice, right? Therefore, when you love that person, they will always look beautiful in your eyes, and that's all that matters. And that's what's gonna keep improving the relationship, because love will push you to have other great qualities that will keep the relationship going. Naturally, you're going to want to submit. Naturally, you're going to share the lead. Naturally, you're going to want to do what's best for both interests, not just yours. Naturally, you know, you're putting yourself with this person. It's not just you, or it's not just that person, but both parties. And that's really what's really going to push it even further. Okay? And share the load. Share the appreciation. If you know your husband cleans before you get home, say thank you, babe. That goes a long way. That will make him want to keep cleaning, because he's like, she noticed. Oh my gosh, she noticed. If he does something and he sees you're tired, he's rubbing your feet, say thank you, babe, for taking out your time, because I know you're tired and you rubbed my feet. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then you could do the same. Do the same. Hey, babe, I see you're tired and you're working hard for us. Let me rub your feet. You feel me? Let me make sure you know I appreciate what you're doing, even though I don't always show it all the time. Because that is not granted to me. It's not an obligation, but it is a choice every day. He makes that choice every day. You make that choice every day. Therefore, appreciation has to go way more further than the nagging, than the complaining, than the lack of appreciation, than anything else. And y'all won't thank me. Y'all won't thank me for this tea. Okay, it's way more than looks. It's way more than what you see on the outside. I remember when I was dating my husband, and this person said this to me, and I've kept it forever, and I think it's one of the best advice I've ever gotten. One of the best advice I've ever gotten about like marriage and anything like that. He told me that you have to understand that you and him have a house, and you have this garden, and you have this fence around your house and garden. You have that control of who comes in your garden and who comes out and who doesn't come in. Whatever happens outside your house, outside those fence, has nothing to do with you unless you want it to. And that, me understanding that, it's like, you know what? I want to keep my garden safe. Therefore, I'm going to be more conscious of who I allow in this garden, who I allow in this house. Because at the end of the day, I need my garden to be flourishing. I need my home to be run well. Okay? Therefore, I'm going to be way more conscientious of what I do and how I treat my husband, just to make sure that he feels just as loved and appreciated that I feel as well, and not to demean or dismiss the little things he do, because at the end of the day, it's a choice. I feel like, you know, a lot of people be like, well, he married me, he gotta do that. No, he don't. No, he don't. And that's the sad truth. A lot of people don't want to say it, but no, he don't. No, he don't. Just like you're not obligated to tell him thank you every day. You're not obligated to tell him you love him. You're not obligated to share your feelings. You're not obligated to communicate. You're not obligated to put your pride to the side. You're not obligated to do any of that. Not even have coitus, as Sheldon would say. You know, you're not obligated for those things. But you know why you do them? Because you know that will make the relationship keep going even stronger and long lasting. And that's okay. You and your partner might do things in your relationship that other people don't do. Well, that's their business. If it works for you, it works for your partner, that's all that matters. Don't be comparing yourself to other relationships, because they're not y'all. They don't have the same personality, the same outlook, the same morals, the same values that you both have in building your own home. Metaphorically, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that. Y'all not the same people, therefore it will never be the same. And there's things you don't know or might not ever know what goes on in that house, for why you can't compare. You can't compare. Work on what you have. You might not be able to afford much. You might not be able to do as much as you would like. That's okay. At least you know you have somebody that genuinely loves you, that if all goes down, that one thing is solid. That relationship, that marriage is solid. And that's what needs to be held high. That goes to say, I'm really enjoying this journey of marriage with me and my husband and how far we've gotten. And that I'm thankful for this journey. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like it was perfect, because it was far from that. I don't know if one day I will speak on that story, but it was very far from that. A lot of people told me and him that we wasn't going to make it past 1 year. And I'm just like, ha, you don't know us. You don't know us. We knew each other. And we knew our intent and what we wanted in life. And that's all that mattered. We both understood what we meant to each other and what we wanted to get out of this relationship from each other, because at the end of the day, it's still a give and take. And once that was understood, we both took that to heart, and we actually put the application for it in our lives and really work towards what we're working, and we're still working toward those things. Overall, we have a healthy, a healthy garden. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Yes guys, so here's the end. Here's how my hair looking, combed out. Here's the makeup look. Haven't done a smoky eye in God knows how long. Okay, I'm really feeling this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this chit chat. Get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe mostly, and if you haven't clicked the notification bell, what are you doing? Join the Black Envy movement and click that notification bell and the subscribe button to make sure you get notified every time I post a new video. So see y'all in my next video.